There's something that seems to be very strange, even mysterious, about the behavior of Avram Avinu in one aspect in our Parsha. The Torah tells us that Avram heard Hashem and he took action. Vayikach Avram took as Sarai Ishto, Sarah his wife, as Lot ben Achiv and his nephew, as Kol Rechusham asher rachashu, and all that they had, everything that they owned, ve'es hanefesh asher asu b'Charan, and the souls that they made in Charan, and they left Charan to go to Eretz Yisrael. Now, what were these souls that they made in Charan? So Rashi explains to us that Avraham was Megayer es ha'anoshim. Avraham brought the men closer to the concept of monotheism, and Sarah brought the women also in the same place, in the same direction. Both of them, Avram and Sarah, were magnets. They were magnets for spirituality, for people who wanted to believe that there was one God in this world. And so we see how much patience Avram and Sarah had when it came to other people. Later on in our Parsha, we're told of a story that we're very aware of. And that is the story of Avram and his nephew Lot. After Avram returned from Mitzrayim, both of them had wealth. Avram because of what he was given in Mitzrayim, and Lot because he was related to Avram. He was also given gifts in Mitzrayim. And the story is told that Avram's shepherds see Lot's shepherds pasturing in land that did not belong to them. So Avram's shepherds say to Lot's shepherds, you can't pasture there. We don't own that land. So Lot's shepherds respond to Avram's shepherds and say, no, you don't understand. Hashem said that the entire land of Israel is going to belong to Avram, and Avram doesn't have any children. That means his nephew Lot is going to be the one who's going to inherit everything that he owns, which includes all of the land of Israel. So therefore, we can have our sheep pasture anywhere we want in the land of Israel, because it belongs to Avram, which really means it belongs to Lot, which means that we have free reign. So Avram's shepherds said, no, you're stealing. And they go back to Avram and tell Avram what happens. And Avram goes to his nephew Lot and says, Lot, we have to have a separation. We can't live together. He says, I don't want to fight with you. I want you to know that I will always be there for you. And he was, as we'll see in next week's Parsha. But nevertheless, we can't live together. And the question, of course, is, how could Avram Avinu, who had so much patience and such a knack, such an ability, such a magnet to attract people, to work out with people, to bring people closer, how could it be that when it came to his own family member, Lot, Avram saw no choice but to separate from him? So Reuven of the Rosh Yeshiva of Kamenetz explains as follows. He says, you know what happened here? Avram Avinu saw, by virtue of the response of Lot's shepherds to the shepherds of Avraham, he saw that Lot had reached the point where he no longer wanted to grow, where he no longer wanted to learn. The attempt by Avram's shepherds to teach Lot's shepherds was not accusing them as if they did something wrong and they are bad. No, it was to teach them. But they weren't interested in learning, because they said, we're good enough where we are. There's no need to grow anymore. And Avram realized that everyone around him, of course, they all wanted to grow. That's why they came with him. They were constantly looking to grow spiritually. But Lot had reached a point where he no longer wanted to learn from Avram, where he no longer wanted to grow. And Avram said, that's it. If you no longer want to grow like everyone else, that's what this camp is all about, then you're going to have negative influence on everyone. And I, as much as I love you, I just can't have you here, because you're going to pull everyone else down. And so Avram says, let's separate. I'll be there for you. Let's separate. Because ultimately my home is about growth. My home is about spirituality. My home is about persevering when it comes to growing as a person. And that Lot had enough of. We should be zoch in our lives to always remember that we need to continue to grow and that we have to be very careful about the negative influences that may exist around us which prevent us from growing, to be aware of them and make sure that we have separation from those negative influences so that we can continue to grow and become closer with HaKadosh Baruch Hu throughout our lives. Thank you for listening and have a good Shabbos.